Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner, and joining me today is Paul Dial, who's the Director of the Park and Recreation Division for Frederick County Government. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I'm very excited to have you here today because there's great news in Parks and Recs, and congratulations are due to you and your team on the National Recreation and Park Association's Excellence in Innovation and Program Award, which the County Park and Recreation has won or been awarded this year.
Right.
So can you tell me a little bit about it?
Sure. The National Recreation Parks Association is a membership of about 50,000 parks and recreation professionals from across the country. We were lucky enough to be selected for the award. There are actually 10 national awards that they give out. Out of those, 4 of those are individual awards and 6 are given to different agencies across the country. And we were fortunate enough to get the Innovative Programming Award. The Innovative Programming Award is really stipulates recreation programming, health and wellness, families in particular as well, and the environments in the parks. And so all of those went into the award, but specifically with us, it was around 2 of our programs, which was the Docks in the Park program and the Sensory Trail that is at Catoctin Creek Park.
Okay, so did you have to apply for this award?
We did. Okay.
Have you ever applied for it before?
We have not. We decided this year, we just thought a couple of our programs, we'd won some awards at the state level at the Maryland Recreation and Parks Association. We'd actually won the award also with the Learn organization, which is a national educational website that you can go to, an association that supports additional training. And so we'd won there as well, and with that we decided to apply to the National Recreation and Parks Association with the Docks in the Park program, but then adding to that the Sensory Trail that we've done as well.
Well, I think it's very exciting to get a national award, and it really speaks to the quality of your staff, their ideas, their creativity, particularly since it's an Innovative Programming Award. So can you share a little bit about the Docks in the Park program?
Sure. The Docks in the Park program really started several years ago. I was at a meeting in Annapolis of the Maryland Recreation and Parks Association, and I met a Dr. Maria Brown who's from Baltimore, and she's a pediatrician in Baltimore. She was talking about the concerns she had for the youth that she saw coming into her facility and trying to help them with better health habits and better activity habits because of the sedentary world that we tend to be living in more and more. With that, she asked and was hoping that our organization might be interested in coming up with some programs to kind of pull the parks and recreation profession in with the doctor's office, to where you make your clients or your patients aware of what activities, what programs, what trails, what parks are available to them, to where they get out and have a more active life. From that, we decided at Frederick County to do that and move forward. So it was from the idea and her concept that we had, and I asked one of our staff, Amy Vagnani, who is a recreation specialist for us, to kind of take the ball and go with it from there, and she really has with that program. From there, we needed a champion locally to work with this, and we had a Dr. James Lee, who is a pediatrician in Frederick, and he certainly has been our champion and very valuable to us in this. And basically from there, we've come with the concept of whenever you're going into the doctor's office, that you have that there's knowledge there and information available if they want to know what parks are in location near them, what activities, what programs, what facilities. We're helping to facilitate between those two. In addition to that, there are some special events throughout the county that we're doing to promote this same concept. For instance, at the Great Pumpkin Patch that we have coming up, at the Easter egg roll that we had, the city of Frederick as well has a city fest that they included this program in as well. So it has been a partnership with the medical community. Dr. Lee definitely pulled us into that community to help us make this happen. And as far as other partners, the City of Frederick has decided to work with us, as well as the Health Department. Dr. Brooke Meyer's staff has been very instrumental. So it's kind of all of those pulling together with a lot of different concepts to bring more knowledge to the people of what's available and then the resources that we have in the park system.
Okay, so it's really connecting the need for health and wellness with park and recreation programming.
Correct.
And so can you measure how many people or children have taken advantage of programming because of Docs in the Park?
Well, we have several different ways and different branches of how we pulled the two together. For instance, we have our classes that we have, and some of them in our Recreator brochure, you look for some that have the logo of Docs in the Park, where you show and follow that theme so they can get involved in those ways as well. The special events, we've had several thousand people that have been at these events and been kind of indoctrinated into the program. Another one, though, that we have is with the Wegmans. We have a passport a passport to family wellness that we had, and with that, the Wegmans has worked with us to where you can go to their location, pick up their the book, the passport, and then you go to different parks and you find out what trails are there, and each park has a post where you can do a rubbing of that post onto the book. And when you get a minimum of 5, you come into our office at the end and you get some type of prize that's been provided through Wegmans for that. Okay. You can do it at 5, 8, or 11 different parks, and what we've had is people getting out with their families and being involved with this. Last count, we had over 700 people that had signed up or taken the passports out in the community. And you're getting, again, the families involved, as well as getting people out in the parks that some of them may not have known of this or one or another park before that. So it's really kind of pulled the two together.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, I think it's great to connect to our medical community. Certainly, a lot of kids are sitting at home playing video games, and they need to get out and have the physical activity to, manage their weight, their lifelong goals of being healthy and well. And I think it's wonderful that Wegmans has partnered with the county to put out information about what's available in our park programs.
Right.
Now, also as part of this Innovative Programming Award was the Sensory Trail in Catoctin Nature Center Park. So can you tell us a little bit about what the Sensory Trail is and how it came about?
Sure. The Sensory Trail was an idea that came from staff at Catoctin Creek at our nature center in that location. And with that, we had wanted to have a way of pulling in some of our impaired participants to be able to, sight-impaired participants, to come in and enjoy the park. With that, it's been a lot of volunteer effort, but there is, when you go into the Sensory Trail, there's an area where all of the different trees there and different barks, and they can with Braille, read and see the types of barks there are and feel what the difference is with that, those types of examples to them. They then go along a trail that has a rope on that to where they can hold onto that along the trail. The trail is safe, but yet it still gets them out in nature. At the different locations, there are boxes there that they can push on the box and have a description of what is in the area as well. So it's really another avenue of getting, anyone can walk on that trail, but anyone that is visually impaired is going to be able to do that as well. With that, it's been very much a community project. We've had 2 different Lions clubs. The Middletown Lions Club has been very involved with that. We had Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, an Eagle Project involved with that, and just too many different volunteers from different organizations to make that happen. So it was really a community involved project as well. And it still meets that goal of getting people out into the parks and getting out and being active and learning more about what's out there in the parks and available.
Well, it's helping people experience nature who might otherwise not experience to the degree that this trail allows.
Correct.
But I really think one of the strengths of our application had to be the fact that we have so many partners, whether they're volunteer organizations or Boy Scouts or our business partners with Wegmans, that we really have engaged the community in development of these programs.
Right. I think it's a combination of, we've had business partners, a lot of sponsors that have helped us in different areas with this, and then the volunteer efforts. And if we didn't have the volunteers that we have, I have a very dedicated and great staff to work with, but with all the needs that are out there, if we didn't have the volunteer efforts, we couldn't provide what we're able to provide in the county. We have the volunteers for projects like that, but we also have volunteers that come out for just special projects where they want to build a bridge, or they might want to paint a fence for us. A lot of different projects that they do, or they work at a special event and work at our pumpkin patch event or something like that. So there's a lot of areas that people work for special projects, and then yet we have our recreation councils who are working year-round in different parts of our community. We probably have about 1,000 members of our recreation councils, from everything from sports leagues to history councils to a senior council. So it's very varied, and a lot of people involved to make Frederick a better place.
Well, I think the parks really add to our quality of life, and there's a park out there for everyone. Right. There's a wide variety of options for people in our parks to just go have a picnic, to walk on a trail, to go fishing, or to do some other kind of physical activity. I particularly love our nature centers, both of them. I think they're great, and we also certainly preserve our history, which I know we value here in Frederick County. So special events you mentioned, lots of special events. I think you get astronomical attendance at some of these events. Mm-hmm. So can you share some of the events that are out there this fall that people might want to attend?
Okay. Yeah, just a few things that are coming up. First off is the Recreator brochure that hopefully everybody's familiar with. Fall classes are signing up now. So most things start in September or early October, so the sooner the better to register for those. A couple of things that we have coming up is we have Jan Brett, who is a children's author and artist. We have a display of hers that's going to be at Rose Hill from about mid-September to mid-December. We encourage anybody to come out and see that. And then our big event that we have coming up in the fall is the Pumpkin Patch that I mentioned a little earlier. That will be at Old National Pike District Park, and that runs from 12 to 5 p.m. daily on Saturday and Sunday. So we hope to have big crowds there for those events.
Okay. Well, a lot of things are happening in Frederick County Parks and Recreations. I really want to thank you and your staff for all that you do, because we do have a lot of volunteers, but certainly your staff helps to organize them and keep everybody moving in the same direction to make all these things a success. I know Jan Brett is a great author. I would read her books to my children when they were small. Very popular, great books. So that's a really nice idea to have at Rose Hill Manor. So people can get more information through the Recreator about what's happening this fall. It is on the county webpage. It's also at recreator.com. Right. So good things. So anything you want to add before we conclude?
Just our phone number, 301-600-2936 is the number as well. We encourage you to get out and use the parks. They're your parks to the community. We want you to be involved, and we want you to enjoy them and be a part of them. If you have any suggestions, please let us know.
Okay. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you would join me in congratulating our Park and Recs team on winning the National Recreation Park Association's Excellence in Innovation Programming Award. I believe it is our first national award. And get out and enjoy our parks. We have some beautiful parks out there. If you really want to get your kids out of the house on a weekend, go visit a Frederick County park. There's something there for everyone. They are part of our rich history and part of our bright future. Thank you for joining us.